Bankrupt? Homeless? Arrested? For a Hall of Famer like Nate "Tiny" Archibald, it's hard to believe this is how his story turned out. But beyond the hardwood, Archibald faced a series of struggles that cast a shadow over his legacy. In 2000, Nate Archibald was arrested on domestic assault charges following an incident with his then-wife. Though the charges were later dropped, his public image took a serious hit. The news shocked basketball fans who had long viewed him as a role model. How did it come to this for such a respected player? To understand Archibald's story, we need to go back to his beginnings. Born in the South Bronx in 1948, Nate grew up in the tough Patterson housing projects. His father, known as Big Tiny, was a construction worker who left the family when Nate was just a teenager. This abandonment left his mother Julia, a department store supervisor who had immigrated from the West Indies, to raise 6 children alone. Basketball became his escape from the dangers of drugs and crime that surrounded him daily in his neighborhood. Even on the court, success didn't come easy for young Nate. At DeWitt Clinton High School, he spent most of his junior year on the bench, watching games instead of playing in them. His size was always an issue. At just 6'1" and 150 pounds, many doubted he could make it. It was only in his senior year that his relentless practice paid off, earning him All-City honors in 1966. But poor grades kept major colleges away from recruiting him, despite his obvious talent on the court. If not for the guidance of Floyd Lane, a former City College of New York star who coached Archibald at the public school 18 Community Center, Nate might have dropped out of school entirely. Lane saw something special in the skinny kid with quick hands and convinced him to stick with his education. This early struggle between athletic promise and academic challenges would become a pattern throughout Archibald's life. After a year at Arizona Western College to fix his grades, Archibald earned a scholarship to the University of Texas at El Paso, UTEP. Under legendary coach Don Haskins, he flourished, averaging 20 points per game over his 3 seasons. His electrifying play caught the attention of Bob Cousy, coach of the Cincinnati Royals, who selected Archibald in the second round, 19th pick, of the 1970 NBA draft. Cousy, himself a Hall of Fame point guard, became a mentor to Archibald, spending time after games discussing the nuances of running an NBA team. The investment paid off immediately as the rookie averaged 16 points and 5.5 assists in his first season. By his second year, Archibald exploded for 28.2 points per game. What followed was one of the most remarkable careers in NBA history. In the 1972-73 season, after the franchise moved to become the Kansas City Omaha Kings, Archibald became the only player ever to lead the NBA in both scoring, 34.0 points, and assists, 11.4, in the same season. Playing a grueling 46 minutes per game, he set a scoring record for guards that still stands today for point guards. Over his 14-year career, he was a 6-time All-Star, won an NBA championship with Boston in 1981, and earned selection to the NBA's 50th and 75th anniversary teams. His career totals of 16,481 points and 6,476 assists cemented his place in basketball history. But according to his autobiography, these accomplishments happened while he was using cocaine and heroin. This shocking admission revealed the contradiction, an inspirational floor general hiding a private collapse. While he was dazzling fans with his speed and creativity on the court, he was battling addiction behind the scenes. How much higher could his ceiling have been if clean? Would he have won more championships? Set more records? The questions linger, adding a layer of tragedy to his greatness. Despite earning millions during his 14-year NBA career, Archibald filed for bankruptcy in 1990. His financial collapse stunned fans who remembered him as a Celtic hero just a decade earlier. The man who once commanded top dollar in the league now faced financial ruin. Like many athletes of his era, Archibald lacked the financial literacy to manage his wealth after retirement. There were no league-mandated programs teaching players how to invest or save. The transition from earning big paychecks to civilian life proved too difficult to navigate. His story became a cautionary tale for young players entering the league with dreams of lasting prosperity. Here was a Hall of Famer, one of the 75 greatest players ever, broke at age 42. The contrast between his athletic excellence and financial failure couldn't be more stark. While we don't know the specific details of his bankruptcy, the pattern is familiar to many former athletes. Poor investments, lavish spending, and predatory financial advisors often combine to drain bank accounts that seemed bottomless during playing days. After basketball, Archibald tried to rebuild his life through education and service. He returned to school, earning a bachelor's degree from UTEP and later a master's in adult education and human resources development from Fordham University in 1990. He even began work toward a doctorate, showing a commitment to learning that was absent in his youth. He became a teacher in New York City schools, specifically teaching health and physical education at Public School 175 in Harlem. His coaching career included stints as an assistant at the University of Georgia and his alma mater UTEP, where he mentored future NBA star Tim Hardaway. He also coached the New Jersey Jammers of the USBL and the Fayetteville Patriots in the inaugural season of the NBA's Developmental League in 2001. In 1999, he partnered with fellow NBA player Rod Strickland to create the Rod Strickland Tiny Archibald Summer League, providing structured basketball opportunities for boys in the city. This work seemed to give him purpose and a chance to be remembered for more than just his playing days. But just as he was gaining positive momentum, the 2000 arrest shattered his redemption story. Even though charges were dropped, the headlines caused irreparable damage to his image. The public is quick to forgive athletic failure but much slower to forget moral failings, real or perceived. Once again, Archibald found himself defined by his worst moment rather than his best efforts. In December 2016, Archibald received devastating news. He was diagnosed with amyloidosis, a rare and incurable heart disease. The diagnosis wasn't made public until February 2018, when Archibald himself shared the news, perhaps hoping to raise awareness about the condition. This health crisis highlighted the long-term physical toll that the pressure and stress of professional athletics can take on the human body. Those 46-minute games in the 1970s came with a price. The man who earned the nickname Nate the Skate for his incredible speed now faced a daily battle just to maintain his health. For athletes, the body is both tool and temple, but it's also mortal. The same heart that powered Archibald through thousands of fast breaks and countless clutch moments was now failing him. There's cruel irony in how a player known for his extraordinary stamina now finds himself fighting for every day. The disease adds yet another layer of struggle to a life already marked by significant ups and downs. While many of his contemporaries enjoy their senior years in comfort, appearing at NBA events and celebrations, Archibald's focus has necessarily shifted to health management and survival. Today, despite his extraordinary achievements, Nate Archibald has slipped into near total obscurity. Unlike many Hall of Famers who remain in the spotlight through broadcasting, coaching high-profile teams, or serving as ambassadors for the game, Archibald has largely disappeared from the public eye. He has no major broadcasting role, no high-profile endorsement deals, no regular appearances on basketball shows to analyze today's point guards. His voice is rarely heard during discussions of the game's history, despite his unique place in it. His legacy as the only player to lead the league in scoring and assists should make him a constant reference point in basketball conversations. Instead, his name comes up mainly in trivia questions or lists of records that may never be broken. His final years have been more about survival than celebration, a sad reality for a player who revolutionized the point guard position and proved that smaller players could dominate the game through speed, skill, and intelligence. In the age of YouTube and Instagram, players with far less talent and impact enjoy greater fame than Archibald. Modern players benefit from global platforms that didn't exist during Archibald's era, allowing them to build personal brands and maintain relevance long after retirement. Meanwhile, his demons, financial collapse, and legal issues have overshadowed his greatness. The narrative around Archibald became toxic, a cautionary tale rather than a celebration of achievement. The same public that once cheered his crossovers now whispers about his downfall. His story illustrates how fragile legacy can be. A Hall of Fame career, an NBA championship, and numerous records weren't enough to secure lasting adoration. Instead, the 6'1" guard who showed the world that little men could dominate professional basketball is now remembered more for his troubles than his triumphs. Perhaps most painful is that younger fans may only know Archibald through the lens of these struggles, if they know him at all. The brilliant playmaker who inspired generations of undersized guards now serves as a warning about the dangers that lurk after the final buzzer sounds. For a man who changed the way guards played the game, Nate Archibald's legacy shouldn't be a warning. But it is. If stories like this hit hard, make sure you subscribe for more.